everyone, myself Mehjabin Fatima. I am commerce lecturer at Allahabad High School and Junior College. Today we will see a first chapter in commerce, that is financial markets. In our previous class we have studied about the instruments of money market. Now let's continue our class with the next topic. Now let's see our next instrument in money market, that is treasury bills. These treasury bills are issued by RBI on behalf of central government to meet its short term funds requirement. So this is our next instrument in money market, and these treasury bills are issued by RBI on behalf of central government. So here central government is binding money with the help of RBI. Since RBI is a trustable body, here treasury bills are being sold in the market with the help of RBI even when they are unsecured. So issued for a minimum amount of 25,000 and its multiples. So the minimum amount of treasury bills is 25,000 and it works under the multiples of 25,000. For example, 25,000, 50,000, 75,000, 1 lakh, 1 lakh 25,000, like that. Here the amount of treasury bills is working under the multiples of 25,000, also known as zero coupon bonds. That means it doesn't have interest. Then if it doesn't have interest, then how the investor is earning here? See, the difference between issue price and redemption value is known as discount. That is the only return on it. So here the difference between issue price and redemption value is only the return or discount, we can say here. For example, 1 lakh of treasury bills has been issued for 90,000. So the remaining 10,000, what do we call it? We can call it as discount or we can call it as return as well. So that is only return on it. And the time period of treasury bills is 91 days, 182 days and 364 days. This is the time period of treasury bills. So this was all about treasury bills. Now let's see another instrument in money market. Call money. What do you mean by call money? It's the instrument of money market. So what happens here? Short term finance used for interbank transactions. So it is a short term finance. That's why it's under money market instruments, right? So it is used for interbank transactions. It means from bank to another bank. Clearly we can say that generally banks has to maintain some reserves. We can call them as cash reserve ratio, that is CRR. And when sometimes what happened, banks are failed to keep or to maintain those reserves. Why? Because when banks are keeping the reserves and as well as they are providing loans to other peoples, right? So while they are providing the loans, they will think that they will get their loans back tomorrow whenever the bank will open. But when they are failed to keep that reserves, what will happen? Here RBI, the regulatory framework, has made a policy that bank must keep reserves. So if the bank is failed to keep reserves, what will happen? So the penalty will be imposed on that bank. Why? Because when it is failed to keep reserves. So to not to face this penalty, banks, what they are doing? They are borrowing money from another banks. Why? To maintain their reserves. For a short period of time, they will ask other banks to give them as a loan. To that we can call money. So it is used to maintain CRR. Here CRR is nothing but cash reserve ratio. So to maintain CRR, cash reserve ratio, this call money has been used. And maturity period is 1 to 15 days. Means if a bank is borrowing or taking loan from another bank, so its period of maturity is 1 to 15 days. So under that 15 days, bank has to repay the loan which it has taken from another bank. Interest paid on call money is called call rate. So this topic is very important, students. You must remember that the interest which banks are paying to another banks, that is called as call rate. It's very important. It might come in your examination. So do remember, the interest which a bank is paying to another bank, that is called as call rate. So this was all about our call money. Now let's see another instrument in money market. Certificate of deposits. What do you mean by certificate of deposits? They are unsecured short-term instruments issued by commercial bank. So they are unsecured, means they are very risky, they are not safe, and they are short-term instruments because they are short term, that's why they are dealt in money market, right? So they are issued by commercial banks. So here the main point is they are issued by commercial banks. So commercial banks are issuing these certificate of deposits. Developed financial institutions, to develop financial institutions. Why they are issuing this certificate of deposits? Because they are issued during tight liquidity days, means when the commercial banks are running out of liquidity, means they don't have liquidity or they are in need of money. At that time they are issuing these certificate of deposits. To whom they are issuing? They are issuing to individuals and companies. Here we can call them as participants of certificate of deposits, means the participants who are interested to take the certificate of deposits by commercial banks. Commercial bills, these are used to finance credit sale of firms. That means short term instruments used to finance credit sale of firms. So our next topic is types of financial market. Don't worry, we have already completed this topic, but here I am just referring this topic once again. So what were the types of financial markets? They were divided into two types on the basis of instruments or on the basis of time period of that instruments. So they were divided into two types. They were money market and capital market. We have completed its features and its instruments. Now let's see what do you mean by capital market. As we have discussed earlier, under money market, the instruments which are dealt, their time period will be very short, and under the capital market, the instruments which we deal, the time period is very long, or we can say it has middle term or long term of time period. Here again capital market has been divided into two types. They are primary and secondary. To it we can also call as new issue market. New issue market means new securities are being issued under this primary market, and under secondary market we can also call it as stock exchange. That means second hand securities will be issued under this secondary market, and the time period will be very long since they are under capital market. Now let's discuss about primary and secondary market in details. Now let's see what are the features of capital market. The first one is deal in medium and long term securities. We already know that since they are being dealt in capital market, so their time period will be very long, and so the time period will be medium and very long and less liquid. What does it mean? Obviously we will get our money after 1 year. So what will happen? Liquidity is very less here. Why? Because we are getting our money after a long period of time here. So it is very less liquid. The liquidity is very less under this, and it's very risky. It's risky because ultimately companies are jammed here and they are secured and they has to do payment of interest as well as principals. So here the companies are being jammed and they has to pay the interest. So it's somewhat risky and higher return for investors. You should always remember that with the expansion of time, the rate of interest will also be increased. Means if I am investing my 1 lakh, say for 1 year, so what will happen? After 1 year I will get my payment with good rate of interest, right? And same like that, if I have invested my money for 5 years, what will happen? When compared to 1 year, I will get the rate of interest as return, and that will be very increased compared to the first year. And suppose if I am investing my money for 5 years, what will happen? The rate of interest which I will get as return will be more when compared to 1 year. So with the expansion of time, the rate of interest will be also increased. So the investors will get higher amount as return. We can call it as compounding also. It's a technical term for this. So this was about the features of capital market. So who all are the participants of capital market? They are companies, commercial banks, financial institutions and investors. These investors are foreign investors, means other countries, foreign countries are investing here. So they are foreign investors. These all are the participants of capital market. Now let's see what do you mean by primary market in details. It's also called as new issue market. Why? Because it's issuing new securities. So the name itself is showing that it's issuing new securities. That's why we are calling it as new issue market. and deals in securities issued for the first time. Means under this the securities are being issued for the first time. And who are the investors here? They are individuals, banks, mutual funds, financial institutions, etc. So these all are the investors under primary market. And what are the securities which are being dealt under this market? They are equity shares, preference shares, debentures, loans and deposits. So these are the securities which are being dealt under primary market. So we know that some securities are being issued under primary markets. But what is the procedure to issue these certificates? How do we issue these certificates? So let's see the methods of flotation. What do you mean by methods of flotation? Here, offer through prospectus. It's the first method in flotation. Offer through prospectus is a conservative and traditional method. Means under this prospectus or document is made which will be issued in public, or we can say that it's an invitation to the public that our company is earning good profit, and if you are investing your money in our company, you will be given good interest or good return as dividend, and you will get good interest or good return as dividend. So we are inviting you people to invest in our company. So it's like a paperwork, and here the paper will be issued publicly with the details about the company and its earnings, so that if the investor is interested in taking part, or if the investor is interested to invest his money, he can invest by reading that prospectus. But currently we see that everything going around us is online, and these prospectus is not working very much. So due to this, another methods of flotation came into existence. Now let's see what is another method. They are offer for sales. What happens here? Here the company is directly selling its securities to an individual or any other company or any broker, we can say. So here what happens? We can say that company is selling its shares to third party. Means what happens? Here the third party is taking all the responsibilities of selling these shares to itself. The third party is going in the market as publicly and they are selling the shares. So here the headaches and responsibilities will not be taken by the companies. They are directly selling these shares to the individual or any other company, or we can say them as broker or third party. So when the company is selling these securities to others or third parties, all the responsibilities will be taken by that third parties, and the company will not enter into the decisions which are made by the third parties, and they can sell these shares publicly according to their wish. Private placements. This is also same like offer for sale, means they both are interrelated. Here also the company is not going publicly and the company is not issuing its securities directly to the public. Instead, they are hiring some clients, or they will be having some institutions with them. So they will sell their securities directly to the clients and institutions, and these institutions will take all the responsibilities on them of selling these securities. Here the company is also free and there is no headache and no responsibilities on the company. In short, we can say here the company is selecting some clients or institutions where it's selling its shares to those clients and institutions, and the company is being free with all the formalities and responsibilities. So now it's the responsibility of those clients or institutions to sell those securities into the market. Right issue. Here right issue means when the company is issuing its shares, it will ask the shareholders of that company whether if they are ready to take those shares, and if they need those shares, in whatever proportion they are holding shares, in the same proportion they has to buy the other shares. Means whatever the proportion these shareholders are holding currently in the company, in the same proportion they has to buy the new shares. For example, a company has issued 1 lakh shares from which I am holding 10,000 shares, means I am holding 110 shares. Here what happens? The company is issuing 1 lakh of shares and I am the shareholder of that company and I am holding 10,000 shares. So what will happen? I am holding the 110 proportion of that shares. Now suppose the company is issuing 5,000 shares. Now 110 of 5,000 will become 500. So what will happen? if the company will ask, I cannot take 500 shares. So who am I here? I am existing shareholder of company. If company is issuing its shares to existing holders, we can call it as right to issue. Means here under right to issue, company is issuing its share to existing shareholders. EIPOs. It means electronic initial public offers. Here we can say it's somewhat related to offer through prospectus. That means it was the conservative and traditional method as we have discussed under offer through prospectus. Now what is EIPOs? We all knows that wherever we are going, technology is always following us. So what happens? Everyone is preferring to work online. No one is preferring paper work currently. So due to that reason, EIPOs have been introduced. Means the company here is issuing its prospectus or issuing its shares through online, through an electronic medium, where the people can access and where the people can get details about the company, what are the earnings of that company and what will be the dividend given by that company if they are investing their money into that company. So the people will get these details through online or through an electronic medium here under EIPOs. So these were the methods which comes under primary market. Now let's see what do you mean by secondary market. Now what do you mean by secondary market? It is also called as stock exchange. We have already discussed about this earlier. So it's a market for purchase of sales of existing securities. We have already discussed under primary markets, we are dealing with the securities which are being issued for the first time, and under secondary market, we are dealing with the securities which already have been issued. Now again we are reselling those securities. That comes under existing securities or secondary market. So it provides liquidity to existing securities. Means whenever I am in need of money, I can go to the market directly and I can sell my securities which I am having currently and I can get money. That means it's providing liquidity. Liquidity means, already I have told you that what do you mean by liquidity? Liquidity means availability of cash. So whenever you need cash, whenever you are in need of money, what you will do? You will go to the market and resell all the securities which you were having currently. Here securities are traded within the framework prescribed by SEBI. So you already know about SEBI. What do you mean by SEBI? It's an regulatory body called as Securities and Exchange Board of India, and it will keep an eye on stock exchange. So what happens here? This SEBI is keeping an eye on this stock exchange or secondary market. Why? Because to protect the money of the investors. So here it's the duty of SEBI to keep an eye over the stock market or secondary market to see whether they are doing their work properly or not, or to protect the investment of investors. Or in short, we can describe stock exchange as an institution which provides a platform for buying and selling of existing securities. It's very important. Once again, I will tell you that we can describe stock exchange as a platform where you can buy and sell the securities which you are having currently or which are your existing securities. And so it's very important, and you must know that they are not new, they are already existed, and we are reselling those existed securities. Now let's see differences between primary and secondary market. This is last topic of our chapter, financial market. Now let's see the differences so that you can clearly understand what do you mean by primary and secondary market. So on what basis they both are divided? Let's see. Securities. On the basis of securities, here primary market, under primary market we are dealing with new securities, right? So here new will come, and under security market, with what securities we are dealing? We are dealing with already existed securities. So here again we are reselling them, means the securities are already existed over here. Buying and selling. On the basis of buying and selling, under primary market, it will work only for buying. Here the company is issuing new securities, right? So it functions for only buying. And under secondary market, the company is issued securities. So they were already existed securities. So here buying and selling both will come. Company's involvement. Yes, under primary market, yes, company's involvement is must, because the company itself is issuing the new securities. And under secondary market, company's involvement is not necessary. That means company is not present over here. Here the owners are exchanging, right? So that is why under secondary market, company's involvement is not present. Price determination. Here the price will be decided by the management. Why? Because whenever they are issuing new shares or new securities in the market, so that price will be decided by the management of the company. And here under secondary market, decided by the market forces, means what is the demand in market and what is the supply in market. According to this both forces, the price will be determined under secondary market. And the location. Under primary market, there is no fixed location. Already I told you it works online, right? And under secondary market, it is located at some geographical locations. For example, Mumbai, Delhi, there we can say that these secondary markets are taking place. So this was all about our differences between primary and secondary market. And here we are ending our chapter, that is financial market. I hope you understood this chapter very well. Now let's continue new chapter in our next class. Thank you.